Oh my God. Guess who voiced the bunny rabbit?
Oh.
The girl that played the waitress in Happy Endings. We were literally just talking about that last night.
We were talking about her last night.
Guess who voiced the war pig? Judy Greer.
Sure, I don't know.
Okay, let's get into it.
Hello, everybody. I'm Will.
And I'm Kristen.
And this is So I'm Watching This Show, your new favorite pop culture YouTube channel where we talk about movies, TV, music, and more. And as always, this is a spoiler show, so you have been warned. On today's episode, we are going to have a entirely subjective conversation about Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. We just got back from the movie theater, and we're just going to talk about it.
We'll all fly away together into the forever and beautiful sky.
So, what's the verdict? Do you like James Gunn?
No. Sitting down, this started around Suicide Squad, but sitting down, I was like, oh, I have a theory that I don't like James Gunn, and I think that is true. I don't like his sensibilities.
You think he's too mean?
I think he's too mean, and I think he's talented, and I, in spite of all of this, am a big fan of the Guardians. I didn't even get. I have
Star-Lord.
Yeah, Star-Lord and Nebula.
Oh yeah, Nebula.
Yeah. I really like the Guardians, and I am passionate about the Guardians as characters, and I liked the part of this movie that was about the Guardians, and I liked I guess I do think it's a good movie. I do think it was a good movie.
Is good, but I don't ever want to watch it again.
No, I don't think I'm going to see it again.
No. And don't let your mom watch it. It's the exact same as Avatar.
It's worse. I would rather watch Avatar.
It's definitely worse, but there is just the one scene of a brutal whaling incident.
There was, when I was a child, I wasn't allowed to watch Captain Planet because one time it was on and my mom walked in and the episode was about like animal testing and stuff, and they like had a bunny and they were dropping eye drops in its eyes and it was like distressed, and my mom was like, what are you watching? And I was like, Captain Planet, and she was like, no, we're not doing this. So imagine if that was a movie.
Yeah, but it's like, okay, but this is like so many steps farther than eye drops in the eye of a bunny, because there is also a bunny in this movie and it has mechanical spider legs and like a Bane ventilator. And it's dumb as a box of rocks, like a baby, and it wants to name itself Floor. Because she's on the floor. Egregious.
It was so egregious. And
Just make noises the rest of the time.
I was gonna say it's needed, and then I was like, well, it's not needed.
It's not needed at all.
We did talk a little bit in the car on the way back, and Will was like, I already knew all that information.
I think this is something about maybe James Gunn doing franchises that might not be like the wisest move. Sorry, DC. But like, basically what happened is like what we were able to convey with one, because I watched the first two movies this morning. So what we were able to convey in the first movie between one sideways look from Peter and when Rocket has his breakdown in the casino on Nowhere, that was enough to let you know that something totally horrific happened to Rocket.
He was experimented on.
And that's how he is, because Peter sees the metallic parts of him at the beginning.
And the scar tissue.
And then he's like, I didn't ask to get made. that's enough for me. And instead, this is just like,
so we get
there's just like 40 minutes of this movie that is animal torture porn.
Yeah, we like open up with like a like group of the cutest little teeniest babyest raccoons sort of like playing, and then this menacing figure comes in and takes one of them, and it is just so egregious.
Yeah.
It's like Bambi's mother and Dumbo's mother and Mufasa, and it's like all of those
Nemo's mom, and like
sort of condensed,
Yeah.
and just sprinkled throughout, and it's just
the Fox and the Hound.
like all of them, and I was physically nauseated anytime they cut to them, because you know that nothing good is going to come of it.
Also, the otter has mechanical arms, and the walrus has like wheels.
It was weird. It was weird, and it just sort of it's frustrating because I just can't get over that part.
Mhm.
And it's not like it was one scene.
No,
like,
it was
it's
sprinkled throughout, because like
the entire movie.
Rocket gets injured because Adam Warlock is coming to get him for
the
High Evolutionary, and so he gets injured, and they try to use a med pack on him, but it like burns him because he has like a fail-safe, like a kill switch in him from the experimentation.
It is 2 movies.
So he is essentially dying the whole time, and while he is in this unconscious state, he's having flashback memories of what happened to him.
It is 2 movies, and I'm undecided on how I think they handled it. I think I liked it. I think I like, because going in, I thought Adam Warlock was going to be the villain.
Yeah.
And I suspected that he wasn't going to end the movie a villain, but the movie sort of expects you to know who he is and understand who he is, and they explain it a little bit, but he is just this sort of like tertiary element.
And he's a doofus. Which I love Will Poulter doofusing around covered in gold paint.
I think I wanted a few more scenes with him.
Yeah. Also, I think we have dispatched Elizabeth Debicki.
Where did she go? She disappeared.
She exploded.
She did?
Yeah,
when?
I think at the organic thing, I think. She ended up exploding there.
So the actual plot is that the Guardians are on nowhere, being the Guardians, being their kick-ass selves.
And they're also like creating a society there.
Yeah, and then Adam Warlock comes and attacks them because he's meant to be getting revenge on them from the second movie when they stole the batteries from Aisha.
Well, no, I think in this one he is there for Rocket for the High Evolutionary. Because the High Evolutionary made the Sovereign. And so he is basically using them to get Rocket. And it's because Aisha knew that Rocket was alive and didn't tell him. That's what he said at the beginning.
Okay.
It was weird watching her be obsequious to somebody, too. I hated that.
Yeah. He like... Because I knew what the Sovereign, what their deal was, but like the High Evolutionary, I guess, just likes playing God, and they were one of the many things that he created. So then he just that makes it weird though, because it makes the whole Aisha and Adam Warlock thing feel happenstantial.
Sort of.
Like,
yeah, because she, at the end of the second one, she built Adam Warlock in order to get revenge on the Guardians, but now...
But then they found a better plot and decided
that's nothing. I just like, because I also kind of get it from a storytelling perspective that you want to have like a big emotional punch in your like final act, but like I really think that we could have skipped the animal torture and had someone die. Like I might have preferred that, because spoiler alert, you said spoiler alert at the beginning.
Yeah,
no one died.
I
thought it was a suicide mission.
Suicide mission.
Yeah,
and I sort of, I guess I thought that they were like, I thought that they were going to be sacrificing themselves for the world.
Yeah.
And it was way more insular.
Yeah.
Is that the word?
Insular. Yeah.
Insular than I thought it was going to be. And I'm unsure. I'm unsure how I feel about it. And I don't know that I'll ever find out, because I'm not going to watch it again.
No, I'm definitely not going to watch it again. There's also I mean, again, it's like Peter Quill doesn't understand the time travel that he experienced, because he keeps on talking to Gamora as though she has amnesia and he is waiting for her to remember. And it's like, no, bitch, she never experienced that time with you. She doesn't like you.
I largely liked the character material, the Guardians material.
Fun,
and I was getting frustrated by that, but I actually, by the midway point, his daftness, I think it sort of works, because you have to understand that his mother died when he was 8, and then he was kidnapped by aliens
immediately, minutes after,
and then raised in a hostile environment for his entire life. So he is arrested. He
of course, yes.
And so having him be that dense sort of helps earn a lot of the, like, even the his Infinity War thing.
Well, that's what I was like. He kept on pleading with her and being like, well, the old Gamora wouldn't XYZ. And I was like, did he forget that this is all his fault in the first place? Like, all his fault.
They kept talking about the magic cliff.
Yeah, he didn't. And I was like, you weren't even there. You cannot be telling me he met up with any of the other ones to talk about that. Star-Lord and Hawkeye sat down and got
I guess
a coffee.
Nebula would have explained it to him.
How would Nebula know?
She was in Endgame. I mean, she was involved. She knows.
Yeah. But she also wasn't on that planet with the magical cliff.
Yeah, but Hawkeye would have explained it to her, I suppose.
To Nebula? I don't think they even were ever on set at the same time.
I don't know. I am mentally, physically, and emotionally
No, I know.
exhausted.
It's a
I'm
lot.
also hungover because I was
sick
mainlining
yesterday,
tequila last night. So anyways, Adam Warlock comes in, injures Rocket. And I didn't fully understand that. What was wrong with Rocket?
The High Evolutionary just wanted him.
But there was something, because they put that healing pad on him and it didn't work. So they needed something.
I explained that. He has a kill switch in him that the High Evolutionary put there.
Oh.
Yeah, and so it reacted with the med pack.
Okay.
And then they had to get a passcode for the kill switch, and so that's why they went after Nico Santos. Okay. Yeah. Because he had it in his weird.
There were so many people in this, characters and actors.
Yeah.
And pretty well juggled, I will say. So they go
to the weird organic place first.
Because
they have to get Rocket's file, that weird hexagonal cube thing. But the passcode wasn't on there because Nico Santos had deleted it earlier that same day. So they went to the High Evolutionaries, what was it called? Opposite Earth?
It was some other alternate Earth.
Some other Earth.
Because the High Evolutionary was trying to create a utopia.
Yeah.
And he was doing that by evolving animals.
Bizarre.
Millions of years within a minute.
Yeah, but he had also done it already, because he created the Sovereign, and he created they mentioned other species that he had done.
He's tried this many times.
And he just keeps on killing them all and starting from scratch again.
It was Chuck Ludi, is that how we?
Chuck Woody. Yeah.
Woody.
He's fantastic.
Just pretend that Kang didn't happen and make him Kang?
Sure. So
I didn't get it, but I loved it.
Will and I watched Peacemaker, and he is a huge part of season 1 of Peacemaker. And he's so fantastic. And
he was very captivating.
That's how he got this job. While they were filming Peacemaker, he submitted a tape to James Gunn, and he was like, hell yeah. And it was so fantastic. He just was unhinged in the best way, but he was calm and smart sometimes. Those are the best villains. It's like Kilgrave is what he kind of is like. Because when he gets angry, you're like, uh-oh. But generally he's very even.
And I did like Nico Santos and Miriam Shore.
Yeah.
They ended up having more material than I thought they were going to be.
Yeah.
Which I mean, they were above the line credited.
So was Michael Rosenbaum. Not enough screen time.
So yeah, they go to this planet that looks just like Earth with humanoid animals, and Drax hurt a child because
it was an
he's
accident.
dumb when the script needs a joke.
Yeah. I didn't also, I thought it was really bizarre, the infighting between the Guardians in this movie. Like,
I mean, they've always been bickery.
yeah, but like Nebula was furious.
She usually is.
No, but like more furious than I think she should have been. It was shocking.
I don't know. There was
to
a pretty
me.
fantastic scene where Mantis told them off, and it
Yeah.
was the truth and nothing but the truth.
No,
it was really
super
awesome.
was. But that was after Nebula like screamed bloody murder at her and Drax, calling them stupid and Mantis erased part of Drax's memory. What the actual shit?
Yeah, they didn't touch on it.
Not at all. That's an ethical gray area.
Yeah. Because I was kind of, I can't go as far as to say that I shipped Mantis and Drax.
Like a friendship.
Well, no, I mean, they've had the meet cute's there.
I don't know, you just keep saying how hideous she is.
I don't know. Anyone, if you're a fan of our show, you know that Mantis is my girl. And
No, she's fantastic.
I don't think anyone gives her enough credit. I'm like, she was routinely putting a god to sleep. She had Thanos on the ropes.
Way on the ropes.
And those weird octopus monster teeth things from the second movie.
I was going to say, they killed one at the beginning of the second movie, yeah.
She, like, she managed to, like, overpower the three of them with love. It was...
Before she even touched them, she was like, they don't want to eat us. I think they're just scared.
Mm-hmm.
And then she, like, they rode them out of the room, and then she took them away like pets.
I don't really know where we're going with this, because they're on the planet, and then there's like a red pyramid, and then they're like on it, but some of them are off it, but then those people get off it, and the others get on it, and then they're like, well, you were over there, but we were over here, and then Gamora's like part of the team, but not, and then Adam Warlock is still like jumping in and menacing this Ravenger's little pet, and then he decides he likes it, and...
You got it. All of Rocket's little animal friends die. They get shot.
Yeah.
One on purpose and two in crossfire. But he manages to escape, and that's how he like became what he is, essentially. You know what I would have preferred? I would have preferred finding out how the fuck he met Groot. That was not anywhere. But he managed to keep like snagging pieces of equipment whenever the High Evolutionary would take him out and just like leaving them in his cage. That's how he created the like key to get himself out.
Oh, see, that's what happens when you didn't watch any of those scenes like me. You didn't see that.
So when he was looking at the sky the first time, when he was like testing him or whatever, he like grabbed something on the way out and like hung it on the weird collarbone wires that he had. And then when the High Evolutionary finally was like, you're not going to the new world. You're an abomination. It's not for you. He was like, cool. And then he just was like going around the cage, picking up a bunch of pieces of stuff, and he made them into like a key to get them out.
Okay.
But he knew he was going to do something like that. So he came down with a gun to shoot a defenseless, armless otter in the back. Horrific.
Also, Kraglin called Cosmo a bad dog.
It was hilarious.
Ruined her life.
Okay. It did. She was like, you take it back. And it's Maria Bakalova again. Just
truly inspired casting.
A+, because she was part of the Christmas special. No, it's like a super A+ for that. And her deliveries of everything were fantastic. But then I love that it became like everyone else's problem, because they were like playing poker. And she just kept on saying, like, well, the Soviets sent me to space and did this and that, and they never called me a bad dog. Everyone playing poker.
Is she that dog?
She is based on Laika.
Oh, that's funny and then sad in a way that is very suiting for this entire experience.
And so that is like...
you know, that scientist said that that's the single thing that he regrets the most?
Sending a dog into space?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that dog died.
Yeah. And he said it's the thing that he can't live with himself.
Good. I hope you're dead. Don't fucking do that. They sent a monkey there into space too. It's horrible. Don't do that. Defenseless animals.
I just like, I have a fragile worldview, and things like this challenge it in ways that I'm just not, I don't need.
Yeah.
I don't need. I agree with Will. I think that the work they did in the first two movies was better.
Yeah.
Than
well, it's like what he said. It's like I was already endeared to Rocket, and also like I don't know that we needed to do animal testing to like be annoyed with the High Evolutionary. It could have been wrapped up in the Adam Warlock and Aisha thing if he had just been like, if you don't like do something for me, I'm gonna kill.
Or even
everybody.
if it was alluded to, but the witnessing it was just really
we could have had like gauzy flashback, but we were really down in the muck.
We were in the thick of it.
Yeah. Well, Kraglin got the hang of the arrow finally.
Mm-hmm. I love Kraglin.
Yeah.
I really thought some people were gonna die.
Me too.
I thought he was dead in like that first scene. I was like, well.
Yeah.
You know, I do think that it was well made. I do think it is a good movie. I think there's going to be a lot of people that love it.
Yeah.
And I think our tepid take is going to be a bit of our tepid response is going to be a bit of a hot take.
I mean, I can't say I didn't like it. I did like it, and I had a good time with the parts that were a good time. And I really enjoyed the ending. Like, I thought the ending was a delight.
It was doing something.
Yeah.
You know, our biggest criticism of the MCU post Endgame has been sort of like, why are we doing this? What is this for? And it had a thesis statement. And I think that this group of people, including James Gunn, in spite of saying that I don't think I'm a big fan of his, that's sensibilities. That's personal sensibilities. That's not me thinking he's a bad person.
No, I think he's a great guy.
But I do think that this was an embarrassment of riches when it came to the cast and the chemistry. I'm impressed with what they did with Gamora. Mm-hmm. I wasn't sure what they were gonna do. I didn't think that she was just going to magically be old Gamora, and she wasn't. And
not even by the end. However, she did find a new family. Like the Ravagers now are what the Guardians were for her before. And I think that's actually kind of nice.
I kind of loved it.
Yeah.
And continuing our streak of never bet against Zoe Saldana, because she was really good in this movie too. And you know, I did really like Adam Warlock. I think maybe I needed just a little bit more time with him.
Yeah. He just was like a Dickensian orphan at the end of the movie proper, where he just was like huddled with like a glass of something and a blanket.
Well, I mentioned in the car, he a little bit falls into that trope of born sexy yesterday.
Yeah.
And I do like that. We don't get it a lot from men. We do get it. Yeah. See Brendan Fraser in George of the Jungle, but we don't get it a lot.
Yeah.
And I do like that they found a way to get his shirt off.
He got exploded a couple times. We also had a like Birth of Adam.
I was wondering.
In the sky.
Did your head almost fall off
from
rolling your eyes?
I guess. I mean, I just...
Well, the funny part, because it was reversed, because Adam Warlock was explained to me as, like, Space Jesus.
Yeah.
I don't know, I guess that it
But he was, like, he got Peter from, like, although his face was fucked up.
It was relatively accurate. Yeah. I fell down a rabbit hole with the first Guardians, because if you're a fan of the show, you'll know I have issue with people just being in open space.
Yeah.
Especially if you don't have your foil blanket to wrap around you.
Most people have a problem with being in open space.
In the movie Sunshine.
No, it's amazing!
Chris Evans is on one ship
around.
And he needs to get on another ship through open space, and he wraps himself in foil, and the air pushes him from one ship to the next.
Yeah.
And I called shenanigans, and Kristen was fine with it.
It's fine.
But
it's a Danny Boyle space movie.
Because in the first one, Peter's in like deep space, and he doesn't bloat.
Yeah, but he starts to.
He starts to freeze, and that caused me to Google what would happen. And it turns out that was relatively accurate, the first one. And then this one is even more accurate, because you would bloat.
Well,
your blood boils is what happens.
They do it to all of Yondu's Ravagers in the second one, because it happens to Tommy Flanagan. Because I was bummed, because I was like, oh, Tommy Flanagan's in this movie. And then I was like, no, he's not.
Well, but a place where I was wrong is it is apparently survivable to an extent.
Yeah.
You can survive
the vacuum of space.
The vacuum of space for a certain amount of time. And so, yeah, there was that. I really did like towards the end, or towards the end, at the end. I liked the note with Groot. I don't remember what he said, but he said something.
I love you guys.
I love you guys. Yeah. And obviously, we kind of know how Groot works, but with Gamora being an outsider for most of this movie, she couldn't understand him until she was part of the team, and then she could.
Yeah.
And so having Vin Diesel say, I love you guys, it worked on me. I was kind of like, huh.
Yeah,
I'm part of the team.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Oh.
No, that's good. Okay, fine.
Did you not get that? Or was that not your takeaway?
I didn't get that. I just was like, oh, just one thing? Okay.
No, we can hear him.
No,
we can understand him now.
Now I get it. Now I get it and like it.
It was cute. I liked that part.
That didn't even occur to me that was what it was.
Bradley Cooper was very good. He's always very good. But
apparently Sean Gunn was Baby Rocket, like the littler one. He does a lot of the mocap for stuff on here.
I don't think that can't be the end. Is that the end? Is that all I have to say?
Well, Peter went back to Earth and found his grandpa.
I did like that bit about people on Earth dying, and I forget who said it, but someone was like, I think it was Drax. He was like, people die at 50.
No, Peter did say it, I think, and fucking Mantis was like, they die at 50? What's the point of being born? And she's like, are you about to die? And he was like, I'm not 50.
Well, because then I was like, I mean, he's not 50, and they said at the movie he's 45. They said at the end.
No, the neighbor's son was 45.
Oh.
Yeah. Peter is supposed to be like 37, maybe.
Okay.
But Chris Pratt is 43.
Okay.
Because he was like, I'm happy to mow the neighbor's lawn, but her 45-year-old able-bodied son is just going to be watching me from the porch. What's that about?
Yeah, I liked parts of it.
Yeah.
My brother.
I also can't get over the animal tour. I just can't get over it. It's such aggressive animal
torture. It was
torture.
a bridge too far for all four of us.
Because that's the thing is
Rachel left.
Rachel did leave, yeah.
So let's just say that her first Marvel movie in the theaters was not a good experience. We were not seconds into this movie, and she and I made eye contact, and it was like,
well, let's
this is not it.
Let's set the scene.
Not gonna be it.
So all of these horrific things happen to a baby raccoon, a tiny baby raccoon. He gets dumped into a cage with 4 or 3 other spooky animals with it's like the underneath of Sid's bed in Toy Story.
But they had sweeter voices. Dispositions.
And then this baby raccoon who was just tortured and made to be smarter than it's supposed to be, his first word is the agonized just whimper of the word hurt. Horrible. Like the worst thing I've ever seen. Horrible.
Nebula got all kinds of upgrades. Yeah, she has an octopus arm now.
Arm is dope.
I liked your observation.
Okay, I'm sorry. It just occurred to me in this one, and obviously this is not something that I have a real legitimate problem with. It's Karen Gillan is an actual human woman, but I was like, Thanos did all of this crap to her for years and years and years, but he kept her tits.
He kept her human breasts.
Unbelievable.
No, it's not. That's not a real. It's the same complaint as the Wonder Woman having wedge heels.
Of course,
it's whatever. I'm not gonna.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna look at Gal Gadot in flats. Ew. What is it from the period accurate wardrobe?
Yeah, so she'll
long,
wear a bonnet.
luscious locks. No, she'll be wearing a bonnet.
Oh man.
I don't know, man.
Yeah.
It was weird. I liked parts of it. I didn't like other parts of it.
Yeah.
I hope we see some of these characters again. I want to see Mantis again. I want to see Adam Warlock again. I wonder if this new Guardians, if that's gonna, who knows? Who knows?
Anything, yeah. Yeah, I would love to get Will Poulter in something else. He's fantastic.
There seems like there was a lot of material there.
Yeah.
I think that's mostly it. So those were our immediate thoughts coming out of the movie. Let us know what you think, and we will see you again at another time.
Yep.
Maybe. Will and Kristen will return. The legendary
The legendary Will.
Will and Kristen will return.
Bye.